Good morning, everyone. Dr. Steve Stohler, Fundamental Health Solutions. Remember, we're the doctors that teach you to think right, eat right, move right, and live right. Well, if you're seeing this video, you know it's Move Right Monday. So we're going to continue on our theme here down on our knees, where we started last week with this tall kneeling position and pointing our toes. We're going to make it a little bit harder this week, okay? We're going to use, from that tall kneeling stance, we're going to a split stance, which means we're going to have one leg down and we're going to have one leg up. Now we want the front leg to be at this 90 position. So not so far out, not so far back. Basically the shin is going to be straight up and the thigh is going to be at 90 degrees. The down leg is going to be straight back. So we make sure we don't turn our foot out to the side. It's in a nice straight line. Initially we're going to start with our feet about shoulder width apart. We're just going to try to maintain balance. Some of you may be really shaky, especially if you've got really, really tight hips, because this exercise is a balance between the mobility of the hips and the stability of the core. So what we're looking for is you to start with your hips and your feet about shoulder width apart. If you need to balance yourself here, fine, and then let your hands hang down to the side. And you're just looking to see, are you steady? Now I've seen many people wiggle and wobble all over the place, so you can always put your hands back. Sometimes you can use a chair between you just to hold on to balance if you don't want to be away from the wall. Start, get nice and tall, and the way we make this more difficult is one of two ways. Either we bring the foot closer to the midline so that ideally we're in one straight line. The front of the right foot is exactly in alignment with the left knee and thigh and foot. So we're in a straight line. The second way we can make it more difficult is for us to get taller. So that's whether that's with your hands behind your head, your elbows out to the side, your hands straight up in the air. It doesn't really matter, but the taller we make this, the more is required of our core to stabilize and our hips against our hips are mobile. Now when we turn this from the side, you get a different look at it, but it's the same thing. Again, we like to practice this to hold this for up to 2 minutes. Balance is the key thing, longevity, and trust me, there are things working even though it seems like it's not. This time we're going to keep the right leg down with the foot straight. We're going to bring the left leg up to this 90 position. So we're in a straight line. Now again, I have my feet shoulder width apart to start. If this is difficult for you, stay right there. Keeping your hands down by your side. If it's not difficult, let's start to inch that foot over until you start to have a little trouble with balance, or if you can get it all the way over to a nice straight line, that's perfect. We're just looking for this static stability, being able to balance in one position. Later on, we can add some mobility to it. Static stability, nice and balanced. Remember, the second way we make this more difficult is to then bring our hands up, whether that's the hands behind the head with the elbows back, and just balance and breathing. Remember, we'd like to hold this for up to 2 minutes, if possible. You can even see that I'm wobbling just a little bit. Or we can take it all the way up. Now, if you go up, make sure you pull your shoulders out of your ears as much as possible. What you should feel with this is probably a little stretch in the front of the leg, some work in the buttock and the back, maybe a little stretch in the abdominal muscles as you pull your tummy in, and then potentially a little wobbling and shaking as you try to find your center of gravity and balance. Hey, work with this week, and we'll see you next week for Move Right Monday. Thanks for watching.